Happy Wednesday, people. Welcome to the Kris the Critic Show. I know it is dreary outside, but the sun is always shining here on the Kris the Critic Show. Today, we are going to have realistic and unrealistic dating expectations. For those of you who might be catching us for the first time, or for those of you who've been away for a while, I've been away for a while, pursuing a political career that didn't work out this election, but it'll work out.
It's okay. Better luck next time.
This beautiful woman to my right, your left, is not my normal co-host, Gina B. Shout out to Gina B. She is doing a little R&R in the Big Apple because she's a baller, and that's what ballers do.
Oh, shit.
This is Chantel Watson. Chantel, can you tell
Hey.
the people about yourself, for those who may not know you?
Hey, so I'm Sean. Apparently, my look is not the Kris the Critic look, so I'll get y'all better next time. But I do have my own podcast with my lovely co-host, Gina B. and Brian Foster. We won't be having a show today, but you can catch us immediately after Kris every Wednesday at about 7:10 on the In the Zone podcast. It's a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of fuckery. We do talk about relationship stuff. And next week, we'll actually be talking about if Black people need to get over slavery.
Oh, wow.
So,
not to worry. The Kris the Critic Show is only relationships. We will never get that deep on this show. And you see,
we get puddle deep and then we get
they
lake deep.
hijacked Gina B. We won't even talk about this show.
We borrowed her.
And you look fine for the show. Now, I did tell her, Kris the Critic Show has a stellar reputation out here.
Oh, Lord.
You got to tighten it up and come with it.
If you want me to look fine, I look fine.
You look fine.
On my Facebook
I didn't say you didn't look fine. You look fine.
It's a bikini pic on there, too. So go to the Sean Watson Facebook page. You can see me in a bikini.
So, title of the show. And on this show, we seek to entertain, educate a little bit, have a little fun, maybe learn a little something. So open your mind. We do look at comments. Our super producer does put up some of the really good questions, and we will attempt to answer them. Near the end of the show, I'll give out some tips because I've had everything gone wrong in a relationship that could possibly go wrong. So,
Are you sure everything?
any of us, raise show of hands if you think you've had some unrealistic dating expectations. You think you're always realistic?
I gotta think because I'm older now, so they've kind of scaled a little bit.
Why are you thinking? I have. When I first started, let's go back to 8th grade-ish. In my mind,
8th grade, okay.
Well, when you start really liking girls, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm only gonna date the prettiest girl in the room with the prettiest face.
Okay. I'm here.
Smallest waist. You know, I even go when I was older. I was like, if they don't have a, face like Halle Berry, little bitty waist, bottom like Serena, very submissive, listens to everything I say.
Hold it. You want somebody in Smith?
I got a bigger
in
list.
8th grade.
I thought this. I said I get a little older, and they could cook, and laugh at everything I said, and I was the envy of everyone around me. That is who I wanted.
Okay.
And I thought at the time, I felt it was realistic. Now, sometimes things happen in life where you find out a real reality. This is true. Not making this up. Freshman year, I see the object of my desire at a party. I went to Mendel Catholic. We had these huge parties, right? So I get up. I'm talking to her. Hey, Kris. She sort of heard, somebody introduced us. So I'm like, hey, Kris. And I feel like I'm getting some rhythm. Like, it's easy. I'm a freshman. Right there, somebody about 6'2" stands right in front of me. Starts talking. Hey, how you doing, babe? Leans down, kisses on the cheek. She starts talking. She's like, I was talking. He's like, oh, don't worry about him. Moves up front. And I'm standing there like,
wow. That's really deflating.
At that moment, I knew, and she spoke to me after he walked away, that, everything I wanted in life may not happen exactly like I wanted. However, again, true story, 2 years from then, about 4 inches taller from then, when I got a car from then, I did end up dating that particular person. However, again.
So what was the lesson? Just get a car and grow, and then you can get the girl. That's the lesson.
The lesson was, I'm not saying it works, but sometimes, things are unrealistic. And maybe you have to change sometimes, and maybe you don't sometimes.
Okay.
Now, doesn't mean we'll talk about happiness in a minute, but that is just the lesson in realistic versus unrealistic. It It became realistic when I became sort of what she wanted. You understand what I'm saying? I was a little more popular. I had a car. I was taller, right? I wasn't a freshman, right? So, not only do we have expectations and desires of what we want or need or whatever, that sort of has to fit us. And that is what we'll be talking about today. So,
Lord have mercy.
Let's talk about dating, this dating game.
Okay.
Now, you're dating, right?
Now, I guess it depends on what you consider dating. I'm in a relationship.
This is not an interview. I try not to interview people should you feel inclined to use a personal story, but we're just talking about dating in general.
Of
so
course.
You can pull from everywhere.
Of course. I will share my life.
Do you think that there is some salt in the game when it comes to men? I mean, you date men. Do you think that they have unrealistic expectations of women these days?
Absolutely. 1000%.
Since I'm a card carrying man, what do you think some of them are?
So I think to your story, right?
Right.
I think the first unrealistic expectation is that they're always going to get the baddest bitch. And to compound that, when you all do date really fine women, you all act like you're surprised when they're complete and total bitches.
We
you
do.
Act like total like surprised. Like
admittedly,
she's fucking good looking. You think
I know
she don't got a lot of people after her? She's gonna be a bitch, probably.
Admittedly, men can be very, as I look in the mirror, simple creatures.
But I need y'all to be smart. Y'all smart though.
We will adjust, and we are willing to adjust to whatever. A lot of times by force. Not even a relationship. If you're a kid, right? And you think you're bigger, badder, tougher than everyone, at some point, someone's going to show you you're not. If you're too weak acting in a certain environment, at some point, you are going to stand up for yourself and know how to deal with that.
Right.
So we're sort of forced into that.
But do you agree that you guys go after these really good, like extraordinarily good women, good looking women, and then you all act appalled when they're complete and total bitches?
I'm about to answer that. Before I do,
okay.
Watch this, fellas. I'm going to give her the absolute truth, and we're going to talk about men, but when we talk to women, let's see if we get it back.
I'm being honest.
The answer, absolutely.
Absolutely, they're fucking bitches.
No, we will go after them anyway. We don't care. We are looks driven to our own detriment. Think about it. We have, and I hate to bash NBA players. On one hand, they make a lot of dough, unreal amount. We have the guy in the NBA. I won't mention the situation. Girlfriend has 2 kids with her. Gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. She would not be dating him if he wasn't in the NBA.
Okay,
I don't think, unless he has a special set of skills. Don't know. But he's just finding out that those might not be his kids.
I've heard this story. That's crazy.
Now, there were some signs to that before it happened.
Because the kids don't look like him.
I'm just saying, he looked past those signs because she was drop dead gorgeous.
They could look like a granny or something. Sometimes the kids don't look like you.
We have another NBA player.
This happens often?
He makes $3 million. Now, he hasn't signed his next contract yet. He'll make over $200 million. He spent $500,000 on a first date.
Damn, what did he do? He buy a house?
He took it to the Louis, the Gucci shop, and at the end of the date, he bought her a Maybach truck.
Wow. I am in the wrong career.
So, admittedly, men do dumb things, right?
Y'all don't do. Wait a minute. Now, that is an outlier situation.
But we will risk it all. How many guys do you know that have risked a really good relationship to mess around with somebody who, like, man,
I don't want to put people out there. I know a lot.
I just say name them.
A lot.
So
I don't want to say a number because then people start tabulating. Like, she know this person. I know a lot. I'll say that.
Ordinary people do that. So looks are a big thing, and that is something that I think prevent men from having meaningful relationships.
I would agree.
Are you any more for men? Just looks?
The expectation of the cooking, right? Especially at first. It's one thing if you're in a relationship, you've established this, and then you kind of start setting some expectations, right? But if I'm sitting on a date with you and you're automatically expecting me to cook,
right,
and clean, or you're asking questions about that.
Now,
what the hell? I don't understand.
I think that is an unrealistic expectation of men.
You agree?
I do, but however, As a man, let me answer. Karen Allen asks, are good-looking women bitches?
Let me say that a little differently. Extraordinarily good-looking women
I can answer.
typically are bitches.
I will say that you have men bitches and women bitches in the world. Let me be grammatically, let's maybe correct first. I would say out of the women who are in the bitch category, they skew towards good looking.
Being really
Doesn't
good.
mean
No, of course not all.
there's some really nice looking women that are just really nice.
Of course.
It is what it is. That's
agree.
the answer to that. So back to you. Again, men are, and take this and pass it around. Give it to your girl. Give it to your girlfriends. I'm dropping gems left and right. I'm like bouncing. I'm just dropping assists tonight. I'm giving assists, right? We will adapt to how we see a woman that we're considering behaving. For instance, if we're at a sports bar, not a club, and she's gladly dressed, maybe a nice song comes on, she starts twerking right up on you. No one else is dancing. We're going to treat her differently than we treat someone who carries themselves differently. Now, same guy is going to behave according to how you act. Now, the reason that's the gym, I see a lot of women, especially you and I over 35, I can say that.
Mm-hmm. My age isn't a secret, but okay.
Mine is. I'm old as hell. But anyway, I see people doing things, trying to be something they're not, men and women. And you don't have to. And now, again, this show is for people who are trying to seriously date. This particular episode of the show, right? Last week we did side pieces. Don't judge us. It was a show.
Lord, somebody that was not pleased.
Right. But you see what I mean by that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
that your what is the saying? Your attitude predicts your altitude. That I
don't know if she used that right, but okay.
I want to say I did, but basically your attitude will, or how you present yourself will result in how men treat you.
Right. And I other things that are unrealistic. Guys, I don't just do this for the ladies. I'm giving y'all some tips too. Just know, because social media and reality TV has ruined it for men and women. Every man or woman from a teenager on up think everyone's supposed to be housewife of Atlanta gorgeous. And those are some disturbed women that I see on these shows, right? I can say that now. When I was younger, I probably would have dated them anyway. Yep, sign me up. I'm rolling the dice.
That's fair.
But just know, you're going out on a date, maybe it's the first date early on. Be patient, because they don't wake up looking like that. Even the best of the women I know, they take time to get ready. And I think men expect that, oh man, she got to look like that when she wakes up in the morning. Everybody takes time to get ready. Even men.
Men really think women look like that all the time?
I think I hear a lot of men saying, well, what she looks like with no makeup. I'm like, she looks like somebody with no makeup. Like, I think I'm just telling you what's out there.
I believe you.
I think men think that there is a perfect shape. Now, they don't consider that on themselves.
Of course not, because they're perfect.
But we are some judgmental creatures. And this is a tip, fellas. If you like her, she can be a little skinny, a little chubby, whatever the case. If she feels beautiful, because if she likes you and you say she's beautiful, you are going to get treated better. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, say that again?
I'm saying I think if you should appreciate whatever shape someone is, if you truly like them. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes guys get judgmental.
Okay.
They start to act a little womanly sometimes, I think.
God.
I'm more old school, right? I'm more old school. I think guys are a little more judgmental because
I'm gonna be cool.
And this skews young. I think the younger guys out here are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They are insane. And they think that she's not perfect, she's not pretty.
Question. And I know you're going to interrogate me about bullshit women be on, right?
Right.
Do you think a man will ignore how he feels about a woman if he thinks that his guys will not be impressed by her looks?
That is something that typically happens with younger men.
Okay.
Older men, or a man with confidence, knows that his homies are usually on some bullshit or jealous shit or I wish I was in his place shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you were trained in school, right?
Okay.
Now, I can't, speak to everybody. I had a dad who was very, mindful of making your own mistakes versus others. I had, true story. For me, at first club, I'm at like, just 21. And I'm superficial. I'm dating a girl, little waist, cute, ridiculous. She's probably like 5 years older than me. She's 2 years older than me. But some dude walks up, this big group. He's trying to flirt with her, right? I act like I don't see anything because, she's like, I see her give now. I got my man right here. He walks away, comes back trying to slide her a number. Me, being who I am at this point, I was like, man, you see, she has him. I take the number, I flicked it at him. He walked away. Oh, my fault, dog, my fault. Well, his homies saw that. Man, you gonna let that little dude do that? First off, I'm still about 5'10", 170 at the time, but he might have been a little bigger.
God.
But I could have put myself in a situation. But I had a dad, and I think all men need to hear this because you hear a lot of domestic cases. He said, listen, I told him what happened, and I said, she got mad at me for doing that. And he said, well, it could have been a bad situation. He said, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, and that woman is for you, you don't have to worry about anything, whether they're there or not. Now, if she strays and you're doing what you're supposed to do, she did you a favor, but you're not going to police anyone into being yours.
And that is another mistake men make.
What is that?
Thinking they can manage or police whether a woman's going to
Does that happen now, plus 35?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I want to look at a couple comments up here.
Yeah.
Could you blow up? I see Karen Allen asked a good one. What do men? Yeah, blow that one up. You were there. I just want to take a second. What do men consider to be the perfect shape in your opinion? Wow.
I think that's too subjective.
No, it's pretty good though.
Okay. Go for it.
I will say they'll never call it perfect, right? Because but there are shapes and there are exceptions to shapes. Now, they'd like to think, most men, the waist to cheek ratio.
Okay. Why is he being so diplomatic?
Because she can have a 28-inch waist with some 40 cheeks. They would like that.
That's intense, but okay.
It is. It's not even, I don't even think these days it's necessarily size. Like, remember Sir Mix-a, like, I like big. Mm-hmm. I think it's perkiness. I think you can see all the BBLs, the Brazilian butt lifts being performed. You see small women getting it done, larger women getting it done. Personally, again, I'm old school. I like natural. I nice looking natural, don't get me wrong. But I have an issue when it doesn't look human to me. And those cheeks with the big rabbit ears now, they like stand up, and I'm like,
nigga said rabbit ears.
And then they got little bitty thighs to go with it. It's got to match.
Okay.
Now I will say you have some people, men and women. I see women. You might see a guy, maybe he has a little weight on his midsection, but generally he has a nice physique.
Yeah.
Men see that too. I've seen women who are bigger than what I normally date. Like, man, I know she's 6'3" and a little bigger, but I like what I see. It happens. So I don't think that's perfect. I think, people, I think Halle Berry can walk by and then all of a sudden, men are so simple. They'll see a centerfold somewhere. I'm like, screw Halle Berry. I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna give brothers a little more before we jump on. Not that I'm jumping on the women.
This air's coming. I'm ready.
Oh, this is a question.
Yeah.
Women are more tolerant of men having female friends. Granted, half the people are born men, half of them are born women. I think some men aren't as tolerant as women having male friends.
That goes to my earlier point about men trying to police women for cheating, because you'll have these long conversations about not having male friends. And I actually have a friend. This is a true story. So I have a male friend,
right,
who's in a relationship. He's been in a relationship for like 15 years, but he doesn't allow his woman to have male friends. But me and him are friends.
And
she knows we're friends.
That's bad though.
That makes no sense.
Wait, look, Jacob got it.
Jake turned around like,
Jake, what's the question?
What?
Jake, can you talk on there, Jake? What's the question?
She's been in that relationship for 15 years.
Yeah.
She's had no male friends for 15 years.
Now, see, that's what I'm talking about.
That's borderline abusive. That's pretty
Jake, how old
terrible.
are you, Jake?
I'm 21.
You're a man beyond your years. So, and if he knows that, I'm surprised she doesn't.
I was surprised because he never told me this.
Now,
She told me this.
There's a difference between having friends. Now, if you're in a serious relationship with a man or a woman, if I have female friends, those friends should be able to be my wife. So they should be around, shouldn't be no. And you shouldn't see this from the other half when they're on the phone with their friend. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yes? See, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. But you should, I think, perspectives from points of view in friendships from both sexes are good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she can have like gay male friends, but outside of that, nah.
Yeah. And a lot of that is.
Did you just say fair?
What do you mean?
I thought you said fair. I'm like, no. She should be able to have whoever she wants as a friend. It makes no sense to me.
I agree. But,
it's not my relationship, not my business.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, there's another gym for. I got 2 more for guys, and we'll switch, right? Wait a minute. Wait.
She's slow.
Jackie Duche joined us. Wait a minute. Jackie, wait a minute. What she say? She says, do men.
I do think.
Can you blow up that? She said, do men really like fake booties?
No.
Jackie Duche, first off, I'm not going to put Jackie Duche's business out. I've been knowing Jackie Duche since grade school. That's a dear friend of mine. There is I used to think, truthfully, that men disliked that. However, there's about a 50-50 split where men say, if I can touch it, it's real. Same with boobs. You know what I'm saying? If they look good, no dude's going to say, I can't stand that nice looking pair of fake boobs.
I got an opinion on this.
Let me ask y'all this. If a man could throw on a fake penis that please you the same.
I wouldn't care.
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't care. It wouldn't make 0 difference to me.
That's all I'm saying.
If it works the same.
That's all I'm saying.
I can't really tell the difference. We in there like swim lane. Let's go.
But this is one. I got to get this to the fellas because I see a lot of y'all out here slipping. And before I retired from the game, I like to remind everybody I was an 8th degree Jedi Knight level player. Be confident. You don't have to try and pressure a woman to do something she would normally do. If you're that guy, she will break whatever rules she has in place and know that those rules are in place, but usually for protection. She may want to sleep with you day one. You don't have to force it because maybe she's been hurt putting that same trust into somebody, right? So you don't have to always try to force something, the extra. Give it a test. Y'all know how y'all do when y'all was a kid. She move your hand.
We're still doing that in our 50s?
I'm married. I still do it. Whatever.
You should be doing that to your wife. Anyway, next point.
She knows who she married.
Good Lord.
Kris the Critic. Here's a big one. And I used to get caught up, not as much as this when I was single, but does this happen? This last one on guys will switch.
Okay.
You see, or maybe you've been in a relationship, we say, we're going to be casual. We're not going, a guy will say, hey, to be honest with you, we try to be honest up front. We really do. We really do. But if you force us to lie, we'll lie like we chew a bubble gum. Anyway, so
you better be glad it's not my show.
If a guy says, hey, let's keep it casual, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then y'all start messing around, doing the do. It's physical. It's great. But then sometimes he's bringing his issues to you,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then you counsel, and that's like almost sounding like a relationship. I don't think most women are built for that. I think most women want it, at least I've been told, it's this or that, but it ain't both.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, and I think men, we cross that line a lot.
But I told this story last week where I said that when
piece.
I am.
You did mention something like this. Go ahead and mention it for these folks.
And not just the side piece part. If the relationship is just that, I am just that. We are not spending the night. I'm not asking about your kids. I don't care about work. I may ask how you doing.
Right.
How's your health?
Right.
All right, great. And that's really gonna be the end of it. And then I leave and then I'm done. It's really, and I actually
you ain't that cold.
If I could make a phone call right now, I would.
We gonna line these guys up. You bring those. No.
It's not guys. Wait a minute. Don't do me like that.
I was
if I could make a phone call, I would.
Fellas, I was testing the wall.
And then he actually got upset. After a little while, he got upset because he was like, I don't like this.
Men sort of like to think, like a lion. They like to think that you got all of them.
Mm-hmm. Y'all want to have everything but the title. I know what it is.
Just like it's like real life lions.
Mm-hmm.
You got 5 women, but if one of them 5 have somebody else, he's ready to fight to the death. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Oh my God, Ronnie Jones. Hey, listen. Speaking of 8th degree players. My running buddy, Ronnie Jones, and stuff. Man, we used to kill him in grade school.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah. look at you.
I have in a happy relationship.
Karen Allen asked, Karen Allen said, y'all will lie in your sleep.
That's true.
But Karen, I will agree. But these days, Karen, women are lying just as much as men. Think about the stories I mentioned at the beginning of the show. NBA player, his girl has 2 kids. Possibly that are not his. And the rumor is they might be from one of his homies.
His best friend. That's
y'all lies hurt. And y'all lied too.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
It's messy.
And we didn't jump up. What's that?
You ready to dig into these
So
women?
I just want people to know I'm fair. Was that pretty fair? It was a pretty honest assessment.
Yeah, I think that was
I have been accused. I'm not perfect. Of being slightly chauvinistic here on the Kris the Critic show. So I've made sure to have a female co-host to keep me honest. But however, my notes on women being unrealistic
twice as long
are plenty.
Twice as long.
So
let's go.
I'll start off the same way. Do you think that women sometimes are unrealistic?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. We expect men to be rich and tall.
I'm so glad you said that. There are, believe it or not, I know somebody. She said, this person is well educated. They make a lot of cash, right? And so, I do this Kris the Critic. I plugged, match some people up. We've done that show.
I need to be able to call in.
And she said I need him to be over 6 figures. She wanted him 6'4" or above, well endowed, funny, smells good, dresses nice.
I hate to tell her,
now,
unlikely that package is going to come together.
Look, it's not even that. So I broke it down with her. I was like, first off, I can't tell people what they don't want, right? Mm-hmm. But a want and need is different. And if you're over 35, 40, 45, and it ain't worked, it ain't because he ain't found you. It's what you're doing isn't working. So, First off, 15% of humans on this planet are over 6 feet.
Right.
15%. Now, out of those, how many are the race that you want? Right? How many of those live around where you live? How many of those are in your age range preference? How many of those make the money you want?
Mm-hmm.
How many of those have the look that you want? How many of those laying it down like you want? Now, if you think that 1 or 2 guys in that category want you, then go find it. But chances,
damn, that was harsh.
The reason it's not harsh is it's an unrealistic expectation. Just like I had, it was unreal. That's more unrealistic. The chances are most women saying that are between 5 feet and 5'7". Now, if you 5'11", by all means.
I agree. If you 6 feet, a woman, you should want somebody.
If you're a woman and you 6 feet tall.
6'4", 5. I think that's
totally
fine.
I used to like tall women. This is true story. I'm telling. I don't know if Miss Critic look. We're married. I see this girl comes by. She's like, "Oh my God, Kris, I haven't seen you in years. This must be your lovely wife." She bends down, gives me a kiss, shakes hand. She's literally 6 feet, super thick, big everywhere. And I told Miss, I was like, "Yeah, I used to climb that
tree."
She was like, "What does she want with you?" I was like, "I don't know. I felt like I was fighting a bear. It was fun."
Can I tell you a funny story? My boyfriend hates this story. So my boyfriend is 6'6". I didn't know that when I met him. I didn't know that till maybe a few hours later that he was that tall.
Right.
And when we got together, I told him I felt bad because I'm 5'7", and I felt like I was stealing him from all the very tall girls.
You 5'7"?
I'm 5'7".
Damn.
I was like, I feel so bad. Like there's some 6'2" girl walking around right now dating a 5'4" dude because she could not find you out the world.
I want to blow up. Can you blow up what Ronnie Jones said? He said, one should be careful what they ask for, just might get it and be non-refundable. Man, that's true.
Wow.
Because that's golden, because we always want something.
Mhm.
But what we should be thinking about is what we need. I mentioned this last show. There was there are two professional matchmakers, and these were black women. This article was out of Ebony magazine, and without going into it again, they said, and they coached people, they said they were black women. They said black women are the hardest for them to match because they have these laundry lists of things they want, not things they need. And other races and men will come with a longer list of qualities. I need trustworthy. Like white women, they will say, I need successful. I need dependability. Right? I need somebody who's money. They own that. Successful, money, a good character. And black women always start their list off with physical attributes and wonder why that don't work. And I, as I've gotten older, I was like, man, that's golden. And then also what I see is, again, you got to like who likes you, right? So I see a lot of women say, since we own women now, we start on men, anybody just jumping in. I see a lot of women say, well, I have this degree, I make this money, I have my own stuff. So that means in their mind, I get over 6 feet, fine, this, that, and the other.
Yep, that they options should open up.
But men don't care about a degree. You have to be the object of your person's desire. See, I knew at 16 that women valued someone with a car. So I didn't sit there and say, I'm just going to be, not get it. They got to like me for me. No, I went out and got a part-time job and I got a car. Because that's what men do. We will change. We ain't going to never say, they just got to deal. We're going to change to get what we want. And if we can't, we're going to accept what likes us. I know people 55 years old living in their mother's basement. They sleeping with somebody.
Yeah.
She might have one leg in a kickstand, but they sleeping with somebody. So my point is, why would you expect, and to make it even clearer, and I use this analogy a lot with Gina B. If I'm a CEO, it's after work, 6 o'clock, I'm working late, I'm walking out, and I see Halle Berry is a janitor. She's cleaned up at 6 p.m. I care not about her degree that she doesn't have. I'm going to ask her out. And if I see she can cook, I might take her around some friends. If she might be a good mom, I might marry her. So why would you think that I give a care about a degree? And I say that because I see so many women that I think would be so happy, but they don't have. They
married a janitor.
They should start to value what they need, which is loyalty, trust, honesty. Instead, they want some superficial something. And then what do they say? Well, men do it. We also pee on trees. You want to be like a man? We pee on trees.
It's not quite a equivalence, but okay. y'all also scratch y'all balls. I'm just saying.
Whoever said clapping to peg tooties in 2023, I like the people who like me. I feel better around people who like me.
Okay.
Because they make me feel good. And again, 8th degree, retired Jedi Knight level player. I've taken women out, nicest restaurants, spent money on them. And if they still act like an asshole these days, I'm like, if they lucky I ain't single. And I'm like, nope. But they think that's something, it's crazy to me.
Do you want to read?
Yeah, go ahead, Jackie, let's see what she said. You can read that. What she said.
That's because black woman has been taught a man needs to look a certain way so she can have a certain status. The women that was responsible for teaching women how to pick a good man is not in today's household. Is not in today's household.
You know what? That's part true, but I beg to differ slightly, because old school women, in my opinion, and even women you see today, where I live, some big houses. And my wife and I frequently comment, these are some nice looking older women. But their husbands don't look the part, but their wallets do. Because those women chose, and I think if I were a woman, I'm choosing a lifestyle. I'm choosing where you can send my kids to school. I'm choosing where I can vacation. I'm choosing not to be stressed out about how I'm going to pay a bill. Now, if you can get all that from somebody who looks good, go ahead. I just don't see the logic in it.
I would agree with you.
And you know what I'm saying? But we teach each other that. To Jackie's point, in the barbershop when you're a young man, they say, oh man, don't let a woman hold you down. Blah, blah, blah. Basically telling you to be a player. And then in the beauty shop, when y'all little, have your own money, have your own this. You don't need a man, you don't need a man, you don't need a man. They teach you we teach each other how to do everything. Go to school, get a job. We work so hard for everything. And we think a mate is just going to fall out of the sky. Now, you got to work hard for that too.
That's true. I completely agree with
Yeah.
that last part. The mate will not fall out
Let's
of the
talk
sky.
about how other ways and women are just delusion. First off, I think women are some of the smartest creatures ever. Y'all don't risk as much as us.
Okay.
Men, look, we'll be playing a card game. I'll be like, you know what? My car outside, man. I'm gonna risk that. Women just don't do stuff like that, right?
Not
But
generally.
when it comes to matters of the heart, y'all are equally as delusional.
I completely agree with you.
Because I see,
Completely agree
I see
with
some
you.
women. I just scratching my head, and she's doing all this on a degree.
Examples, please.
Well, I have friends who are male, who are single.
Okay.
They are passed up, in my opinion, sometimes by women that I know. But what these women don't fail to realize is he's dating a lot. Women that are nicer than you, look better than you, make the same money as you. And in some cases, sometimes even younger and more funny and play. But she's thinking that would be a step down. And I'm like, so you'd rather be alone than to like someone who likes you. Or if they ask me, because I've learned not to give my opinion, let's ask, well, Kris, what do you think the problem is? I was like, well, you got to like who likes you. But when I say that, I frequently hear, well, I don't want nobody ugly. So I'm thinking, you think the only people that like you are ugly? So I will say, if a certain type likes you, that you're that type for that person. You better pick from. It's two circles of people, for men and women. Write this one down too, y'all. There's a circle of people who you like. You might want them. They look like what you want. They got it going on. And then they may or may not like you. You might even sleep with them. But it's not going the way you want it to go. Then there's a circle of people who love your dirty draws. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Only pick every time from the circle of people who love your dirty draws. You will never
We can't
lose.
find like the middle.
You'll never
the
lose.
people in the middle.
But why would you be upset at loving someone who loves your dirty draws?
No, I completely agree with you.
So why would you want to leave that circle? Because you're afraid.
Because they're
because
5'1".
Because you need everybody that loves you, your dirty draws is 5'1".
Damn.
Why would you ever not want to be picking from the circle who loves your dirty draws?
No, you're right. I just have to get
I
my
know
mind
I'm
wrapped
right.
around and being
I
5'1".
do this.
Like, yikes.
Only pick, and not granted, I have picked from the circle of the fruit of evil many a time. But it just don't work.
No, I agree with you.
They're going to drive me crazy. I'm going to drive them crazy. I'm going to cheat. They going to cheat. I ain't going to be shit. She ain't going to be shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Pick from the people who love your dirty draws.
So Jackie said something.
Blow that up. Let's go here.
So I gotta push back on this, right? And what I will say is that is not my experience. I have never experienced.
Read the question for those.
Okay, I mean, I can read.
Well,
What
some
happened
people are
to
not
men
on
courting? Oh, fair enough. What happened to the man courting the women? This is not my experience. I can count on my hand how many men did not court me, and they didn't court me because that's not what I wanted.
So when they show up, they're like, "Hello, Sean. Nice to meet you. Thank you for making my acquaintance this evening."
They don't have the horrible British accent, but
I love doing that.
Men take me to dinner.
That's
they
good.
call in advance.
Right.
They give me days and days notice until we get into a relationship. They don't have to no more. This is not my experience.
You seemingly tilt to old fashioned too, but here's the rub: you have a lot of women today, and this is why it happens. And it was in the notes. Y'all confusing brothers out here because a lot of women want to be independent. I want to do what a man does. I want to act like a man acts. I want to do what a man does. Right?
Okay.
So what's he thinking? She might want to split this bill.
Is that what you think?
I think there are women out here who get mad if a dude opens the door. I can open my own door. So when are you selectively choosing? And there's some women who say, on the first date, I'm going to split that so he knows this, that, and the other.
Okay, then you set those
But
expectations.
my
out the
point
front.
is, you have to communicate that.
I agree.
And I think that a lot of people expect men to know when you want to be treated equally versus when you want to be treated like a docile dame.
Well, I mean, can't he have the can't he? I get that, man. It's confusing for men, right? But can't you just have the conversation? Like one thing
They
I think
can't, but-
people will be surprised that I like when a man order my food. I like sitting there very quietly
And there are other
during
women
dinner.
who get
Who
upset
get
with
bothered
that.
by that? But you have the conversation to say, "Hey, I'm a
But
guy
who
who
is it
opened
on?
door." I think it. I will say this. I don't think it's on the men to do it. I'm not saying that you all have to take the lead on
Right.
it. But if it's a point of confusion for you, I think you should open up the conversation so you are very clear on expectations.
I got it. Two schools of thought. I agree with most of that, actually. But I think early on, I'm just gonna cut you it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
We ain't shit. That was next.
I don't see many men having a problem having anybody. I see that more with women.
Well, yes.
So my point is, if they ain't having no damn problem, they ain't gonna change shit. But if you're a person who ain't got nobody, you need to change or just be by yourself. There are women out here who are so stubborn these days, they will look themselves in the mirror and say, any issue in their life, well, I ain't gonna change. That's just them. And they don't understand this. They just got to go. And I'm like, damn, she about to be by herself. I feel like I'm watching a movie. I'm like, oh, you ain't gonna have, because a smart woman gonna, they're gonna use honey to catch those bees or flies or whatever. Now, if you want to keep mouth off by your lonesome, you might get slapped. They might hit you. They might hit it. I'm gonna hit it. But they ain't dealing with that. You're gonna constantly be left alone and alone again, unless you pick from that circle of men. Say it with me.
A man who love your dirty draws and are 5'1".
Why they gotta be 5'1"?
I don't know. I said it, so now it's stuck in a loop in my head.
Wait a minute. What did Kay say at the bottom? Karen Allen said, "No, I can't
No,
order
I'm my own food."
See what I'm saying?
That's just me.
But that's my point. It's she orders her
just
own
me.
food. You don't order your own food.
No, I said
So
I would like it. I will do
But
it.
I gotta guess. I shouldn't have to guess.
But who said? Wait, see, here's the mistake that men make. Instead
Wait,
of
hold on. Let me listen to Karen Allen. I'm gonna give you my criticism before I read the question.
okay,
Let me read what this woman is saying men need to do. Ain't that what women always say? Why these men telling how women ought to be women? But let's read what Karen Allen, since you read it, what she said men need to do.
my circle of women friends who are single have been independent and now ready to say, "Here, you take the lead." But some men can't lead. I don't disagree with that.
or they don't want to lead those women. See, that's
Maybe.
what the first thing men and women must ask themselves before we point, because anytime you point, how many fingers pointing back at you?
3 or 4 or something.
All
yeah.
day. Before you point fingers, say, have I done everything right?
Okay.
Because that's what men do. We will say, well, damn, I want her. She talked to me about one of my. We train that way because we get told no early. So we say, what am I doing right? Was I dressed right? How I smell, dog? Women these days are like, well, it's got to be me. Can't be this 30 pounds overweight that my ass is. It can't be that.
Can I offer a different
I'm just saying. They always assume it's on him. A man will run through a wall if he wants something.
That's true.
Let me use my lion analogy. A male lion will die over them female lions. He ain't gonna just walk away. He will die over those female lions if he want. But if he don't want it, no, he ain't gonna act like that. Stop asking me to leave. Because wait a minute. And the fact, go back to the question. I hate to run that question into the ground, but this is so okay. I have a circle of women friends who have been single and have been independent. We gives no fucks about independence. We don't. That will not get you a man. Oh, I'm independent. I ain't never been around a group of dudes that say, "Oh shit, here come them independents." That's what y'all do. We don't care.
But y'all equally as confusing because y'all will have.
No, we want something. What I tell you, we want.
All right.
We want some peace. We want a nice sandwich. We want somebody to laugh at our dumb jokes.
Yeah, but you also don't want a dependent. You don't want to have to pay her
Some
bills.
We don't care.
y'all do care. Stop that.
No. We don't want you making us broke.
What do you think a dependent does? You got kids.
But
What
some
you think
men,
they do?
men with enough money don't even care about that. What's my
Well, because
analogy?
they got enough money
If
to
I'm the
secure you.
CEO
You have
and
enough
I'm
money
walking
to secure her.
through, I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is y'all do care a little bit. Y'all do care that they.
We don't care.
They do care.
You will never pull a man because you're independent. That's if every man that you know listed their top 10 things he wants in a woman.
Okay.
That independent will never make the top 5.
Yeah, but it will come out in conversation, is what I'm saying.
But I'm saying if it ain't in the top 5, why even list it?
But people are full of. Here's what I'm saying, Chris.
Oh my God.
People are full of shit. You will listen to their conversation. They will tell you what they need.
2 women trying to tell me what I'm telling them, and I'm an 8th degree retired Jedi Knight player, that men don't give 2 fucks about. Just drop that in your efforts to land somebody.
Okay.
You'll be better off.
Perhaps you. Okay.
And
it's not my show, so you're right, Chris.
No, I'm not. No, I want to hear. I speak to every man out here.
Because men, look, if you ask a man to drill down his wants, you're correct. He will not say he wants an independent woman. But if you listen to what men complain about with women, that is one of the complaints. They do not want to have to pay for your lifestyle unless they can afford to pay for your lifestyle. Then it ain't a big deal.
I didn't say pay for a lifestyle.
But
I said we were talking about. I can't stand women change my words.
We were talking about
the word independent.
But if you're paying for their lifestyle,
they're independent women that want you to pay for their lifestyle too.
But that's still a dependent.
They're broke women that say I don't want you to pay nothing for me.
But that's what I'm saying is men don't want a dependent.
I'm saying it's not amongst our top 3, 4 of anything.
I disagree. But okay, again, not my show.
I
so
know.
Chris is
you're
right.
not. You don't have a penis. You're wrong.
But I have ears.
You're wrong.
But I have ears and I have a brain. I can hear.
We shall agree to disagree. And that's fair. One time, 1999, I was wrong about something. I was wrong. It happened. Who else we got?
Never made the top 100.
And that is a good point. Okay. Jackie Duche said, if you just put Jacqueline Gigi Duche.
The last one?
Wait a minute.
I need my glasses.
After that, I want to read what Aaron Foster said. Jackie says, successful women want you. They don't need you. It's a big difference. I agree. But it goes both ways.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
No false statement there. Aaron Foster, in regards to my statement, never made the top 100. You see what I'm saying? It's not just me saying this.
I agree that you all will not drill it down. But what I am saying is if you hear what men complain about with women,
a single man.
That's a complaint.
Hold on. And that guy has no problem getting women. He's a member of the greatest fraternity ever. Yo, to the good brother, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I'll read this question. Aaron Foster says, I'm running to the circumstance where women want you to take charge for a certain amount of time. Once you get to that time, then they become bossy.
What does that mean?
That man is a genius. He just pointed out point number. Wait a minute. No.
I think I'm a little confused.
I have plenty of points where they say he want a woman. A big problem is women want men to act masculine, take charge, but then show him signs where she's uncomfortable with that. Right.
Okay.
But what he said, again, that can be solved with communication. But
I think I'm not clear. I'm not clear on what he's saying. I need kind of the 3-year-old version of that.
It's sort of there. I think some women, if you take them out, right, they order your food, right?
Okay.
They willingly pay. You sure you don't want dessert? You're like, damn, this restaurant was sort of expensive. He asked me for that. He says, I insist.
On dessert? Okay, let's go.
And we're gonna have an aperitif. Bring us 2 ports, please.
Oh wow, and aperitif.
That's all I'm saying, right? And then he suggests maybe y'all take a walk, and you say, well, I don't feel it. He's like, come on, you enjoy a walk. You say, I said I don't want to walk. When I say something, I don't want to take a walk after dinner. That happens. And so we're like confused. I'm just telling you what men see.
Where's the confusion in that, though?
Well,
I mean, maybe I'm weird.
All
right?
I'm saying is men
if I'm agreeable to everything except that one thing, why can't I say I don't want to do that?
The word, the operative word was bossy.
Okay.
There's an expression that Kris the Critic uses.
Okay.
Ladies, if you remember nothing else from this show.
Okay.
Be a kitten, not a cat. A kitten always acts playful. Meow, meow. A cat does this when it wants to.
Can you go say that again? How you
so
said
when he
that,
said becomes bossy, there's a way you can say you don't want to do something without sounding like I just did.
Yeah, but here's where I push back.
Babe, how about we do this instead? How about, you know what really make me happy? If we skip that walk and maybe we do X, Y. See, you see the difference?
But
You don't give a fuck. See, as I know.
I'm not saying that is a
This is not my
better
cup.
way to say no. But what I want to point to is that when you originally said no, right? It's not like you came out the bag and said no. You were like, no, I'm not. I don't really want to go on a walk, and he still pursued it anyway.
Because you let him take charge and everything else, and was happy with it. So he's trying to take charge. You sit aside.
Okay.
Now, again,
I just find that very odd.
All I'm saying is, what I've seen work with women. I've seen women get me, when I was a single man, not to toot my own horn, I was that guy.
Yes,
the women that can have me doing whatever I want to do made me think that I liked whatever they said. Mm-hmm. And all they had to do was smile and say it sweetly, and I was doing it. There was no backfight. I'm like, damn, I didn't even want to do that, man. I ain't never done that. I ain't never put my tongue there, but she said it so nice, I just did it. That's all you got to do. I just gave you the answers to the test, but you're not concerned about the answers to the test. You want to answer the question the way you want to answer it. I told my oldest daughter, 4th grade, talking to a teacher. Better analogy. It has nothing to do with relationships. Teacher incorrectly graded her paper. Mm-hmm. She raised her hand in class as soon as they passed the papers out. This is wrong. You owe me some points, blah, 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 blah. Teacher tries to say, we'll talk about it later. She's like, no, it's right here. This question, She gets in trouble. She gets extra points taken off. And as I explained to her there, no one wants to be told off in front of a room full of people. Now, you can be right and lose out, or you can win and get along. And by getting along, we have so many people now who just want to be right, men and women. I just want to be right. I was right though. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about you, right? The world ain't fair.
Okay.
I was not born as much as the Sultan's son in Middle Egypt. It ain't fair. Okay. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares about fairness.
Well, ladies,
I'm telling you,
pat and rub them into the nose.
Just
pat and rub them and tell them no, it'll be okay.
Listen, and if he's in that circle of people who really loves your dirty draws, you would never have to worry about trust, working hard, loyalty, none of that.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people, men and women, feel that circle of people. That circle of people. Are beneath them. Draws,
are beneath them.
They think that's beneath them. And what I like to tell them is, if you think those people are beneath them, you have a higher view of yourself than what's real. You have an unrealistic view of yourself, because those people who love your dirty draws are you. Because the only people that love the dirty draws of what's the model, Tyson and Idris Elba, now they dimes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I was like, which Tyson are we talking about? Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, just learn something.
So any of that makes. I know you don't like.
Well, I don't dislike anything. I do think there's.
I'm about to start a fight, fellas.
I do not think
the truth triggers women. Yes, yeah, I did
that's not what I was referring to. But again, this is not my show, so I'm rolling. What you saying?
Your job it is to be just as ignorant as Gina B would on play.
All I'm saying is, I get it. Pat and rub to the nose.
Let me. Kay Allen says. Karen Allen says. That's because you did this. You made her say this.
I did not make her say this. I said, "How was it no confusing?" Could you read that out loud?
What she said.
It seems that men are confused by what leading really is. I don't agree with that, Karen. But,
right. I'm gonna say no. They're not.
What I will say is, and I think that's what I'm trying to point to. Right, there is a very clear inability for everybody to communicate. Right. I think men don't want to ask questions because I don't know why. I think it's just a man thing. They don't like to ask questions for clarity, right?
I agree with you.
I think they're just supposed to know everything, and you're supposed to just kind of fall in line with what they're used to instead of getting to know you, right? I also think women are not effective communicators too, because of the same thing. They expect men to know what they need, even though they just met you. I think everybody just has a poor line of communication. Everybody would just say what they need and what they expect, or ask, what do you need or what you expect, is actually a better way of confronting it, right? Saying, what do you need and what do you expect? Mm-hmm. We would all have much more functional relationships.
And for somebody, that was good. I normally don't get that type, but that was good. That was good. And I'm glad you recognize
Yeah.
it. It was thought. You showed some thought with that, and I
Yes.
agree actually. And
Yeah.
I hate throwing us under the bus, but it's that social media crap because everybody's used to texting. I used to have to write. I used to have to talk to you. I used to have to write you. I've written letters. Nobody write letter.
Yeah.
I see a question up there, Jake, from Mrs. Critic.
Oh, hey, Tasha.
Second from the top. Second from the top. Oh, go to the top first. Was she at 2? Some men do not want dependent women so they can control everything. Agreed. That was a Captain Save a Hose. What was the next one? I agree. That we don't have a disagreement on that.
I don't disagree with
No.
that.
What's the difference leading? Ooh.
Ooh. So I didn't want to lead. You tell me, sir.
Hold on. I'm fixing.
I got my opinion, but Okay, well, since Kris is
well, hold on.
Sorry, it's your show. You right.
As fellas, marry someone slightly smarter than you, and you'll be okay. The difference is leading is in the best interest of the twosome, right? With total disregard for one's personal wants and needs. I liken that to a basketball team. Okay, you got 5 guys on the team. The team that usually plays the best together is I got a shot, but if a decent shot, but if I pass it because he has a better shot, he's right on the basket. I don't just shoot it because I got a decent chance to make it. I get the best shot for the team. And leading is doing what's best for us. Controlling is not taking into consideration both people all the time. And that is controlling. And women and men control. And believe it or not, I think those women who act really nice about everything, I always think of like no diss to any Asian people who may be watching. Those ladies act very docile, but they're very controlling.
Yeah.
I think they make the world go because they just smile. Yes. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think all that super niceness is manipulative.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw that out there.
I don't specify it to Asian people, but I do think sometimes women,
it's prejudice.
All that niceties is manipulative and controlling, and men.
Oh, wait, what did Ronnie Jones say? Because I've been trying to get some more of my guys on the show. I'll make a guest appearance one day soon to give my insights on single. Then, oh yeah, wait. That is the topic, bro. Because I'll read the whole thing. A guy says, and he make a great guest. He said, I'll make a guest appearance one day soon to give my insights on single, then married versus single, then divorce aspect if ever a topic. Folks who've been, men and women who've been married previously and now single, they have those. That's the only group I always say it. They say things that I learned from because I'm like, I haven't been in those shoes before. So I would always, we can do that next week. Let me know, dog. Hit me up after the show. But the only thing I ask, Brother Jones, if you get on the show, because I've had the most outspoken guys on this show. And then I give them the questions in advance, like the topics and stuff. And then when they'll be really quiet, like they don't want to say that. So just keep that in mind.
No.
I would like to give a couple tips.
This is for the women folk.
Next week, I got to bring Jackie Ducey and Ronnie Jones on the show. That would be a show.
Oh.
But I would like to give some tips real quick because we run out of time. First off, thank you all for those. There was some good comments.
It was some really good comments.
I'll give a few tips at the end. This is for men and women. If you're in a place where you're trying to make something work. If you're a woman and you're just trying to use dude, hit it for a while or vice versa, this ain't for y'all. But if you're starting off, you're like, this can go right. How do I want to play it? There's 3 tips. I keep it real simple. I say reality TV is not real. Substance over matter.
Yep.
I tell dudes, you want a good woman or you want a good weave? You know what I'm saying? Here's what it is.
That should be a hashtag.
But the things you look for in people are trust, loyalty, honesty, especially post 35. You're not trying to have kids anymore. I can see if you're younger, you're like, well, I need my kids that look like, Boris Kojo and Shamar Moore and, Tyson Beckford if they had a baby or whatever. But you ain't on that. You want to be treated nice. Focus on those core values and then share those with the person and listen to theirs back. People like to be heard, right? I always tell people speak their love language and let them know yours. So if you like your hand held, public displays of affection or whatever, let him know and vice versa. Because know that usually what you like and what you like giving are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So you know another person. And then the last one is persist, right? Nothing comes easy. You got to work at it, just like anything else, just like buying a house, just like buying a car, just like anything else. If it's good, other people want that. So, God gave you a brain. He's not going to drop it and give you the person. So you got to go make it happen. Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. It was
awesome.
fun.
Jake, shout out to you, bro. Way to jump in the show. And shout out to y'all. Peace and love. We see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I'm calling Jackie Duche and Ronnie Jones soon as I leave here. Peace and love. Kris the Critic. Love y'all. We out.